This is a short video on how to do an E-cam swap in a Mazda BP motor. First thing you want to do is pull all your spark plug wires out, lay them off to the side, make sure you label them on which ones they go to. Then you want to take and pull all 11 of the valve cover bolts off. Then you want to pull the PCV valve actually out, and then the valve cover itself will come off. Okay, and then you want to come over to the side of the motor, which most of them are in the car, and you want to pull the 4 bolts out on the timing cover, the top one, and then it will come off the side. And then you work yourself a little bit further down and you pull the 3 bolts out of the water pump pulley. The pulley itself will come off, and then you have 1 bolt on the timing cover over here. You pull this off and it exposes the little pulley here for the timing belt tensioner, and that's a 14mm bolt right there. You'll loosen that up and it'll give you slack for the timing belt to loosen up, and you'll pull the timing belt off. And then when you get the timing belt off, you take and you'll put a crescent wrench up here on the camshafts, and that's how you hold the camshaft in place when you pull the bolts out for the camshaft gears. Then you pull the camshaft gears off, and then you'll take and pull these 6 10mm bolts out for this cover, and you'll pull this cover off. Then when you get that cover off, you're going to come up here and you're going to take all of these 10mm bolts out that hold the the camshaft in, and the sequence order on removing them, you start at one end or the other, and you go this one, 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 this one. And then when you're going to reinstall it, you just reverse it on the direction. You would go like this on reinstalling it. And then you pull the camshaft itself out, and you'll take your E-camshaft, which this one is right here, and you're going to take a grinder or a bandsaw and cut this distributor lobe off right in here about halfway, like I have already did on this one, and then clean it all up, of course, with some brake parts cleaner, and then put your new or your used camshaft seal on, whichever one you have, slide it on, set the camshaft into place. Of course, clean the RTV off of this one here, re-RTV this guy down to seal it into place. And then, like I said, you're going to put all your caps back on with your bolts, and you're going to start in the middle, and you're going to go in reverse pattern of how you bolted it down all the way to the very end. Okay, then you got your camshafts back into place. And you come back over here on the side of the motor, and you bolt the black timing cover here back on with the 6 10mm bolts, and then at that point you need to put your cam gears back on. Of course, the exhaust cam gear here, you're going to put the tick in line here on the E, lined up with the E, and now with this E-cam swap, you're going to take the tick and you're going to put it in the I slot, the intake cam slot. And then what you do is you count from the little notch there 21 teeth clockwise, and you'll come all the way around to where it's going to line up right there where it's supposed to. And I've already did mine, so all of mine, of course, is already lined up. And as you can see down on the bottom crankshaft, it's lined up with the T for the timing mark. So, and then you'll want to take and line your timing belt all back up. And I always suggest with these tensioners, don't do just with the spring pressure. Take a screwdriver in here behind the pulley and actually put a little more pressure on it and then tighten it down. Then you'll put your cover back on here, you'll put your water pump pulley back on, then you're going to put your timing cover here, back on the side of the motor. Take your valve cover, put your valve cover back on, put all your bolts in, slide your PCV valve back together, put your spark plug wires back in, and you should be ready to fire this thing up and go.